have seen people of a certain gender, people of a certain caste, or people of a certain social, character. They always get relegated, and they always get almost no access to universities. We have to understand that higher education is still very difficult, and it's a matter of privilege in this country. It's not a matter of right. Even when you have the requisite percentage, very few people reach higher education for various reasons. What they are trying to introduce is, one for all kind of system, which I feel will be very regressive in its effect in terms of accommodating diversity that is part of our society. It is actually a certain kind of centralization that they are pushing forward. And in this centralization, they are not ready to, address the question of equality. There won't be no uniform fee structure. So who has benefited from the limited number of seats in public funded educational institutions? The private players. What is advisable in an educational institute is to have a certain kind of academic freedom or academic autonomy. When the quantity increases, quality will also increase. If you provide that kind of facility and infrastructure. Instead of doing that, they talk about quality and restrict quantity. That is the major policy, hurdle that we have to overcome. Current UGC policy is not at all accommodative of the social justice problem that we are facing. And I believe we need to challenge and rectify that.
You say that you want to increase the gross enrollment ratio to 30%. It is right now 22%. You want to increase it to 30%. And you're cutting down. So in short, in JNU, we are feeling the impact the most because our admissions will go down. Our students, the MPhil admission, not only because of the caps on supervisors, but also because the MPhil degree is going to be devalued. The UGC is not a uni-size making organization. Every state, every part of the country, universities have their own acts. They have to work in service of those acts. So any suggestion that this 100% viva voce flows at all from the university, from the UGC regulations is incorrect. Deprivation points are not relaxation of minimum standards. They are actually enhancements of standards. So to say that the UGC has that respecting the UGC guidelines means inflexibility and plagiarism of the UGC guidelines. That is a straightforward violation of autonomy. Now today the UGC is pushing a message that autonomy means you go and become private. The people of India promised that this would be a place where you could study, research, ask questions, think freely. The aim of these regulations seems to be to restrict research, not to encourage it. So this is perhaps these regulations we must see as the beginning of a particular kind of attack, using an act of parliament to finish off other acts.
I think it will be discriminated against. I think many of the students who don't speak proper English or who come from the underprivileged backgrounds, they certainly will be discriminated because the teachers somehow are the teachers from the privileged community still in the country, and these people will be choosing only those coming from the privileged background. So there will be kind of a problem with the non-privileged students coming from the non-privileged areas and communities and castes and class. Now when the interviews will be held and the number of the seats are very limited, then there will be, of course, the people who are going to speak better English, people who come from the metropolitan cities, people who have come from the better colleges like St. Stephen and other, they would be naturally given in some kind of a weightage in the interview. That would be because of the social capital that these people have. But somehow I have a feeling that this kind of measures will affect the already discriminated sections in the country. JNU certainly had a very innovative and positive admission policy, which catered to the needs of this country's discrimination suffused society where we have so much discrimination. UGC is an advisory body. It is not something which universities have to really follow their rules. That is given by the UGC. It's a funding agency, yes, but we are all accountable as central universities. We are accountable to the parliament of the country. Universities have also developed their own unique systems and their own rules and regulations according to their own peculiar and their own specific needs, and so that should be respected.